So an asylum seeker whistleblower has spoken to the Daily Express, revealing how migrants have been converting to Christianity as a means of having their applications granted. He explained that migrants have been faking conversions by retrieving papers at churches and then simply not returning, and that there are also cases of people pretending to be homosexual or transgender. And while it may be easy to dismiss these individuals as a few bad apples, there are serious consequences to this phenomenon. Both the Clapham chemical attacker and the Liverpool hospital bomber were supposed converts to Christianity. Today, the Home Affairs Select Committee sat to assess the phenomenon. The question is, how can our asylum system know when someone is lying? Jerry, it happens to be the feast of St Gregory the Great. It's a good day to be talking about conversions to Christianity.
Yes.
How do you tell whether people are telling the truth? You're a barrister of years' experience. When you talk to somebody, can you tell, is there an instinctive way?
Absolutely, if they're politicians, if their lips move.
Fair enough.
You can never really tell, you just look at the evidence. But I was prosecuting these cases 10 years ago. There's nothing new in any of this.
But is it just the numbers have gone up, and with the large number of small boats, the numbers using human rights law, saying they're converting, then saying they're at risk, has gone up?
Yeah, the worst thing, I think, I don't think it's too much to do with that. I think it's dishonest people. These are clergymen. These are people who believe they're the representatives of God, but they're the representatives of mammon. They want to earn money out of other people's misery, which is appalling.
OK, that's a really interesting point. Michael, do you think these people who are involved, the vicars who are doing the conversions, are doing it for cash or doing it because they're naive? And my guess is that they're naive rather than that they're corrupt.
Ooh.
But I may be...
Well, I'll come on to that in a minute.
Yeah, OK.
Can I ask you a more topical question?
You can try, if it's relevant to the subject.
Do you think that Fred Hester should do you think the Conservative Party should return its £10 million donation to Fred Hester? Do you think that Mr Hester's remarks were racist?
Michael, when you get your own programme, you can ask the questions. For the time being, Michael, you are here to discuss the subjects under discussion. Thank you very much. It's what you're paid for. Let's stick to what we're doing. And if you get your own programme, and invite me on, that's a different matter. We're here to discuss this issue, but I can ask Jerry.
Dodgy vicars. We're talking about dodgy vicars.
Jerry, carry on, please.
Yes. Well, dodgy vicars. I mean, I said this a moment ago. I was prosecuting these people years ago. There is nothing new in any of this. And it's not naivety. Obviously, in some cases it is. But by and large, it is a business, and that is appalling.
How do you stop it? I mean, is it a problem with the Human Rights Act, or is it an issue...
No, it's honesty. It's honesty.
You'll always have people trying to use a system and find loopholes within it. So as a lawyer, how do you devise a system that minimises the loopholes?
Well, in the same way that we devise a system or have a system of criminal law, we look at the evidence. Were there people there who were deliberately actors, pretending to be part of a ceremony which didn't really exist? Were there photographs?
Yes.
And that's the other thing with photographs. We're saying, hallelujah, that sort of thing.
I mean, when you were last an MP, there was a very good system of the primary purpose rule of making sure that people who got married were really married.
Yes, but...
And that was quite effective.
Yes, but you have to rely on trust. You have to rely on trust. You have to do that.
And then you have to rely on judgments.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we've got a clip.
There is a clip we can go to of Matthew Firth before the Select Committee earlier today. It was interesting to see what he had to say, because he's the whistleblower.
I honoured the baptisms that were the baptism requests that were already in the system, but then you spot a pattern, and then you think, hang on, there's something going on here, and then you try to press a pause button, which is to make sure that people are requested to come to church and start getting involved and attending church regularly, events and so on, and that was the thing that kind of made the numbers fall off a cliff in a sense, because those people kind of melted away really.
People just melting away. People disappear, having come over and said they're converted, but then they're here, they're British, and the system doesn't catch up with them. So it's almost back to another occasion where the Home Office just isn't able to keep control of our immigration system.
They're not fit for purpose. That was said years ago by John Reed. And then the most recent chap who was in charge of migration, he said, You know,
it dates back well before John Reed that the Home Office wasn't up to the job. Well, I mean, I remember in the 1980s suggesting when I was at Channel 4 News we should be doing an investigation into why the Home Office is so badly run.
Why doesn't it work?
The problem you've got here is, look, I mean, you're a very committed Christian. You know that there are, horrible parts of the world where Christians are persecuted for their faith and sometimes murdered or all sorts of terrible things for them. And the same is true with gay people. And if you were involved in making a decision and somebody was sent back and something terrible happened to them, you would feel dreadful.
And people like Jim Shannon and Fiona Bruce raise in Parliament regularly issues from Nigeria and from China and from Pakistan of Christians who are really seriously persecuted. And it's very difficult. I mean, it's the line of Elizabeth I, not liking to make windows into men's hearts. You don't really ever know whether conversion is genuine or is to tick a box.
And of course, you welcome converts.
Of course we do. I mean, the Christianity
some of these people will be genuine. I just don't know what the answer is. But I mean, it does concern me.
You can smell a scam, and that vicar smelt a scam.
Yes,
and felt that other vicars were smelling it and going along with it.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and he's been brave to...
very brave.
They've just been given the benefit of the doubt, I think, is what's been happening. That they may smell scams too, but they feel that they have to give the benefit of the doubt in case, something terrible does happen to these people if they then get sent back to their home countries.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, my panel.